UFC fighter content creators. Like which UFC fighters have the best YouTube channels? That'd be a great combo.
I like that. I like that.
Who's a couple that come to mind for you?
So to come to mind, okay, Sean O'Malley, I love his content for sure. I love his podcast. He's got the one with Tim Welch, and he's also got the one with his brother. Both those are very good. I like Aljo for sure. I think his content's the most underrated without a doubt. I like his podcast. He knows what he's saying. That's what's good about a lot of these fighters. Like they really know what they're saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're up close to it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So they have like a very accurate like point of view, I guess. So I like those two. I'm trying to think who else. The retired fighters and stuff, I don't really like as much. Like I don't like. Are we including retired fighters?
Let's just do active right now. I mean, there's some retired guys like Chael is okay, but like his stuff used to be a lot better.
You know, I wanted to say something about Chael on record. I'm so tired of his content. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm getting so sick of it. He like, first of all, he's a Colby Covington fanboy.
Yeah.
Fanboy. Like he keeps talking bad about Chimaev. Like he talks about like ways to like he's just trying to like find ways to get Colby back at the belt, fighting for the belt without fighting Chimaev. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he never like holds Colby accountable for not wanting to fight Chimaev. That's what I don't like. Because Colby's his boy and everything. I also don't like him against Charles. Like I think he underrates Charles very much. And he even said on an interview, no, not an interview, on one of his videos that Charles versus Islam a year and a half ago, wouldn't even be on a main card. What the like what?
That's the thing. I think Chael Sonnen says a lot of things that I think he exaggerates way too much. Like he exaggerates way too much by saying something like it wouldn't be on the main card. Like that would have been a championship fight. That's what I can't get behind with Chael. He'll say things that he knows is complete bullshit and a huge exaggeration, but he just says it to try to make his point. And you can't get away with those statements. You just can't.
You can't because you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, but you know what he did do funny. He was like, guys, we're going to talk about Grasso versus whatever. And then he was like, just kidding. And then he was like, guys, just hold in here. We only have a few more weeks left to 280. So that was kind of funny. But
that's hilarious. I respect Chael for that one.
Yeah, I saw that. It was kind of funny, but I do think also the fact he also was like Jake Paul isn't going to knock out Anderson Silva. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. I've seen that.
How do you know that? Anderson's 47. He keeps his hands down a lot. That's his boxing style.
Yeah, like Jake those are the kinds of statements that they don't make any sense.
They don't make sense. Like I think if Jake Paul wins, he's gonna knock out Anderson Silva. I think that's how he would win.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, that's what I don't like about Chael. But Michael Bisping, I mean, like
he's kind
walks on that. He walks
on eggshells.
Anthony Smith, like him and
I like when they actually talk about fights and MMA fights, but whenever they're talking about like other stuff, I'm not really into it.
Yeah, they walk on eggshells. You know, they're too you know how it
What
is.
about John McCarthy and the Weighing In podcast?
Yeah. I watched that.
It used to be better, bro. A lot of these older fighters, they used to have much better podcasts. They're all kind of going downhill.
Yeah, I don't really.
What about Israel Stylebender? Do you ever see his?
Oh, you want me to be honest with you? I like his content.
I think his content's. I like his content. I don't watch his vlogs. I watch his fight reactions. Sometimes his predictions.
I do. I like it. I have to be honest.
It's well done. It's well edited. Very well.
I like Adesanya's content. If only his fighting was as entertaining as his content.
And that's one thing I respect about Adesanya. There's two things actually. Number one is he tries to promote himself, which is great. Number two is that he's active. Like he posts on social media. He has a YouTube channel. He's active on it. It's very well done. He puts his personality out there and he fights all the time. And he's also like one of the biggest champions. Volkanovski is a YouTube channel too. I don't really watch it that much. Like I don't watch it. Volk is cool. he's a cool guy, but I'm like, I like watching his interviews. I don't really want to just see him, which is, I guess not everyone has that personality, but
I like Costa. I like Costa's stuff.
does Costa have content?
Yeah.
Really? I haven't really seen his content.
So funny.
What does he do?
He does like just like random stuff, like vlogs and everything.
Okay. I know he did something with Liver King.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so funny. I like
Yeah.
Shemaev's content.
Would you eat like shitloads of raw liver like that?
No,
Would
I
you?
wouldn't. Would you?
I mean, like I like
saw you
liver, but
post
still,
something
like
about
that's nasty.
I saw you post something about that on Instagram. Like, what
Yeah,
was that about?
liver is excellent. Liver is the highest concentration of like essential vitamins out of any food that you could possibly eat. So it's a really good food. However, it has so much vitamin A, and you can get vitamin A toxicity by having too much of it. So you can get poisoned if you eat too much of it. So liver's the kind of food where like you might have this much each day. That's good. That's really good for you. But like having a huge, all this liver every single day is way too much. But it is healthy. I wouldn't eat raw shit. Like I'm not into the raw meat stuff. Like I don't like that.
No, I'm not. But back to those fighters. I like Henry Cejudo's content. I don't know if you could consider him.
I tried watching it recently because he started posting a lot. Henry Cejudo, I think he's a little slow. Like he seems high. He seems really high in his podcasts. Like he seems like, I don't know. There's something off with Cejudo that I don't like.
Yeah.
There's just something about his podcast that I just don't like, bro. I feel like he's like super stoned or something. Like he's like Mike Tyson in a way where he can't really speak that much. I don't know. Like I feel like he's very dry.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else has some good some content. I feel like we've kind of like there's not that many.
I like how these guys are making content. I think it's awesome. And respect to Adesanya for being a big champion and Volk for being a big champion and doing it. Like I know some guys stream, like Max Holloway streams a lot. Who are some like I mean, yeah, I think it's dope. I think Sean O'Malley underratedly has like the best like consistent content for sure.
Yeah, I love his podcast, honestly.
Yeah, his podcast is very good.
We're really good. And him and Tim Welch. I really
him and Tim Welch, like that's I remember 2018, like when I was really getting into it, they had those much smaller podcasts. Like I think they were renting out a room. Like they probably still have a studio, like, but it's way better now. I went back to watch some of their early episodes. They were so young, man. And like, it's crazy how much their podcast has actually grown, because back then it must've been like maybe 10K, 15K subscribers. I don't know. Now it's like 400,000, so they're doing really well. Did you see MMA Guru was interviewed by Sean O'Malley?
Yeah, that was interesting. That was real interesting. I feel like I saw his video after his reaction. He thought he did really bad. I thought he didn't
do that badly. He did well, in my opinion. I think he did well.
Yeah, he did well. I mean, Sean didn't have him on for very long at all.
Yeah, they only had him on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes. Like, I don't think he could really say much. And half the time they was talking about him versus Peter Yan. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't really getting into I think that was on Sean and Tim, honestly. I think that was their fault, if anything. Yeah. They weren't really asking him much questions.
They weren't asking him. I think once they realized like he wasn't going to kiss their ass, they were probably.
Yeah. I think that upset Sean a little bit, I think that hurt his ego a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that was on Tim and Sean for sure. Like, I mean, when you have a guest, like you saw our interviews like with Jared and Sam Alvey, like we asked him questions, like even if the Guru isn't the pro fighter, still have to ask him questions, and